IIT Madras has been ranked yet again number one for the sixth consecutive time under the overall category and for the ninth consecutive time under the engineering category. With me, Professor V. Kamakoti, IIT Madras's director. Professor, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time. You seem to be doing something very right compared to other institutes across the country. What's that recipe?
The recipe is very quite simple. As I've been telling in the past, and I'll continue to tell, that we have been working as a cohesive unit. All the stakeholders, students, faculty, staff, alumni, the state government, the central government, the different ministries of central government who are funding us, then our industry partners, all have been working on something with a common objective, which basically addresses the academic needs of the country, the research and innovation needs of the country. I think that focus has kept the flag flying high.
What would this mean for students of IIT Madras, particularly in terms of placements, in terms of salary packages?
Out of the five major parameters on which we are ranked, there are sub-parameters in which it will be around 70 plus, etc. At least 80% of them are basically concentrated towards student welfare. Like as you mentioned, there's a median salary,
Right.
the teacher-student faculty ratio, then the number of scholarships that we are giving, online resources that we have put. It's not just IIT now, our BS Data Science is spread, our Swayam Plus initiatives are spread.
Right.
So many things actually come as a part of this evaluation. So it is not just we are looking at IIT Madras per se, we are looking at a student community per se also.
For recruiters, what would this mean?
Recruiters, this means that we are doing a lot of things right. So that we have maintained the research in the second spot, we have maintained our innovation in the second spot, and we are seeing a significant sort of maintaining the same spot over years in spite of all global slowdown and other general market issues. Our median salary has remains almost the same.
Right.
So all these things essentially mean that there's something right happening here, and students are being educated on the correct thing, and so the trend is going to be at least the same, and if not, it's going to improve.
In innovation and research, IIT Bombay and Indian Institute of Science, they've emerged number one.
Yes.
These are areas where you need to develop or improve.
So research is, of course, research has a multiple facets. One is, many times we are now looking at what we call as translational research, where in terms of today we are encouraging faculty to spend significant amount of time after they finish the research to patent it and then go for publication.
Right.
So that way, this is a very, thin line where I want more startups versus I need more citations. So if my research is going to take, say, 6-8 months before I could go and publish, because I want to see that it is coming out almost like a patentable idea rather than just a idea on paper, then I may have to compromise on the citation per faculty.
Right.
So these are some things that are happening, and IIT is also predominantly a teaching oriented institution,
Right.
where research is also done. It's not that we have not, and we are seeing good. We have been number 2 anyway. Okay, so IIC has a much more research oriented institute where research gets very high priority. So that is probably the reason why we are always number 2 there. But we are aspiring to
Right.
become number 1, and we will continue that. But there are a lot of good things that we learn.
Right.
Specifically on the innovation, we also see that how many of those companies have gone to very great heights.
Right.
I think some very IIT Bombay's startups
Right.
have seen a steeper growth, which we will over a period of time. So it's a very healthy competition that we have with these two institutes.
This is an annual exercise.
Yes.
Is the race to improve your slots, improve your ranking? Could it dilute standards? Because you may want to try to get all the boxes ticked. You may get wider but not deeper in terms of quality.
No. That's what I'm saying. We have only 5 parameters, but each of these parameters have such a depth that I can't score in that parameter unless I do well in those things. For example, today I must, in principle, I must see certain, even if you take innovation, there is also some, it's not just the number or quantitative, it's also the qualitative. That's what NIRF over a period of time, from 2016 till today, the way it has evolved is that it has seen to it that, each of these parameters are well quantified and also qualified. So the
IIT Madras ranks number 1 in the country,
Yeah.
but globally in the QS rankings, you still rank 228th,
27.
27th.
Okay.
What are the challenges in that?
So that's what as I told
You told me earlier you were not happy with the disappointing, you said.
Yeah, it was what I think. But now we will work. It's not that we are going to give up on that. We will continue to work with QS to understand where we are.
Right.
See, many of the things basically come as a part of perception there. Perception is given a very, very high number there.
Right.
So we would like to start working on how do we build that perception. That's not under my control. Somebody has to say that they remember me when asked for a thing. But other parameters like sustainability, we have been immensely benefited by sustainability, and there's also a sustainability, as the Honorable Minister yesterday mentioned. There's a sustainability vertical that's going to be created in NIRF also. See, NIRF, Sam, is basically reflecting what we need to do for the country. Correct? There are certain responsibilities. Right? I have to work for the GER. I have to work for, so online resources is coming up very bigly. I have to work for a lot more other things where we are a large democracy, and as an higher education institution, we have certain very important responsibilities. We are the most youthful nation.
Right.
So lot things that we need to take forward at this point of time. And what we see in QS is a sort of a global, they treat what is expected out of a US university in US, the same thing an Indian university in India.
They responded. Are you happy with the explanation?
They have not, no.
They mailed us saying that you have actually gone up in your ranks, that they have acknowledged the changes you have brought in, the areas where you have improved.
I have not seen that mail, but we need to certainly work on it. We will work with QS and see where we can take it forward, right?
Lastly, Professor, one observation is that all the top ranking institutes, the top 3 at least, all of them are government run, central government run. Is there an inherent bias towards government institutions? No private have come to the top positions.
In the dental, you had Savita. Savita is number 1 in dental.
Dental, okay.
Yeah. So I think there are a lot in. I think in skill also, I think it was a private institution. I also see the private in the top 10 for sure. And all the institutions that have come in the top have been existing for say 60 years to 100 years, right? IIC has a century. We have almost 6 to 7 decades of experience, right? So that is also another point. And we have refined, as you look at 20s, from the time of its inception, different categories have come into place, different things have been put into place. Now
The unlimited funding from the central government helps?
it's not unlimited. It comes with its own. And as you had actually asked during multiple interviews, we have this, in Tamil we say, varavu ettana selavu pathana. Whenever a funding comes, actually it's based on an expenditure that we need to incur. So as we start growing, the funding has to grow. Funding is directly proportional to the growth, right, of the institute. The more we get as funding, the more we can grow. But everything involves money. Every step that we do involves some amount of expenditure and infrastructure development.
What next?
What next? So we will start working for next year. So it's like, it's like an annual budget for us, right? So we have to carefully look at, 2 things which will be helpful for both our ranking, NIRF and QS. We have to look at more international relationship and publications, that we will start looking at it. And graduation outcomes, which we need to do. It's not 1 year, last year I did, I can keep quiet here. Graduation outcome is, placement, median salary, all those things are very important. And we have started internship, and it all starts with internship. So we need to get so that whole thing is started.
How's the placements going on this academic year?
Internships have been very good. And we are seeing more interns in the core area. And that is, that's my throb, like we need to. But our entrepreneurship is also going very well.
Startup
100.
Professor, congratulations again and thank you very
Sam.
much.
Thank you very much. Thank
That was Professor V. Kamakuti, the director of IIT Madras, talking to us, as the institute has yet again been ranked number 1 overall and under the engineering category. At the IIT Madras with Suresh, Sam Daniel, Find It TV.